Waboom. Hey, hey, hey. Goodbye. Yes, it's true. Pour one out for your boy Waboob, who got the Waboot this week. Unfortunate. I said it before. I'll say it again. He's funny. He's awful, but he's funny. And now we don't get any more Wabooms. But the good part about that is his arch rival slash lover slash stalker. I don't know what the hell you want to call that guy. Blake E is also gone because he sucked worse. He did. That's the truth. When are these people going to learn that talking about someone else and getting involved in drama does you no good? But kudos to Rachel for nixing both of them right away, just cutting the drama out. That being said, the post-rose ceremony, the two of them arguing was hands down the best scene of this entire season so far. Blake E doing his whole waboom cluck cluck fart noise. I think he actually said waboom more than Waboom said waboom, which just goes to show how consumed he was that he never ever was going to see past it. So I'm happy he's gone. Fuck him. But even before that, let's talk quick about Demario. He comes back, which is probably a producer push just to create a new storyline. And again, Rachel handles it very classy, tells him she's very happy that he learned a lesson, but it's not going to be with her and in the mansion, and he needs to get the fuck out. But good news for Demario, he's going to be on Bachelor in Paradise. All right, last thing before we jump into the rest of this episode. Chris Harrison, this is me to you. We need to talk, buddy. This whole bullshit about rose ceremonies being at the beginning of an episode instead of the end is fucking ridiculous. Cut it out. Just give us the fucking ending of the show. Don't make us wait a week and then remember who's going home, who's not going home. Come on. All right, so first group date. Rachel takes 6 of the guys to the Ellen show, which I think is awesome because I love Ellen. My man, Brian, he is my front runner, my number one since before the show even aired. Keep that in mind in case he wins. I called it. He showed the first couple of signs of maybe not being as cool as I thought he was. He got a little like camera happy in front of the audience, you know, said a couple things that made him seem kind of jerkish. But maybe that's, I don't know, maybe he was nervous. The line itself was actually kind of smooth. Ellen was like, yeah, Rachel said she's kissed one of the guys before. And he grabs the mic and he's like, yeah, she's a good kisser. Good line, funny. But then he kind of tried to keep grabbing the microphone and like, I don't know, it seemed a little douchey. So, Brian, don't be Josh Murray. Remember, I feel like I'm talking to people a lot. No one's gonna watch this fucking video. I get like 100 views. Other than that, group date starts and they all are told that they're gonna dance for charity in the audience. So they all naturally just take their shirts off, go Magic Mike, which I think is very funny that this always happens on The Bachelorette. Always, always, always. Dudes are just like half naked doing something, which, whatever, but think about if it was the other way around. Keep that in mind. We'll get back to this on group date number 2. But yeah, the guys are dancing. Some of them are killing it. Alex, the Russian, don't know where that came from. Others are not. Tickle Monster, I'm looking at you, buddy. But I gotta say, he's my spirit animal. I think he's so, like, just genuinely awkward and has no moves that would be me. I would try so hard and be the worst dancer out there. And they end the group date with a game of Never Have I Ever, which I thought was actually kind of cool too, kind of candid. Seemed like most of the guys were being honest, having fun with it, and Ellen just killed it. I didn't take a whole lot of notes for this episode, trying to do this thing where I just watch and then give my thoughts. Last week I didn't do a video because I was writing a bunch of stuff and it seemed really forced. That being said, I don't have a quote of the night, but Ellen, I think, had all of them. She killed it. She's hilarious. Very, very funny. So, worst part of the group date, after Ellen, they're at wherever they are, having drinks, whatever. Rachel sends Frederick home, which again, I'm going to commend her for just being committed to her feelings. She realized she wasn't feeling it. She sent him home. But why do you pick up the rose to walk outside with him? I mean, talk about getting a guy's hopes up. Jeez. So the whole thing with Frederick, I don't know. She's got me calling him Frederick. His name is Fred. He never once has said, hi, I'm Frederick. Has he? Can we check the tape on that? I don't know. The whole thing, I kind of was thinking this already, and he actually brought it up in the episode. She keeps bringing up this shit from when he was in 3rd grade. Like, let it go. I mean, give the guy a shot. This is, what, 20 years ago? So I think he was kind of doomed from the beginning. She just couldn't see past whatever bad shit he did as a 3rd grader. I mean, I can't imagine it was that bad. But she had her mind made up, and there was nothing that he could do about it. So, Fred, Peace out, dude. But group date ends with Alex, the Russian guy, getting the rose. And like I said, he killed the dancing segment. I think he was very, very genuine and sweet in the Never Have I Ever. And he's kind of growing on me a little bit. I don't know if he'll win, but I think he'll be like top 5 kind of guy. All right, next up we have the one-on-one with my man Anthony. Anthony, again, seems like a really good guy. He talked a lot about like charity work and teaching. I don't feel anything between them. They rode horses on Rodeo Drive. Rodeo on Rodeo. I like puns, it was all right. It was a fine date. Like, they kissed at the end. They had a nice romantic dinner, but it's just, he's very, very like laid back, and I feel like she's a little bit more out there. So I don't know if I ever see them getting to that like fully, what am I doing here? What are my hands? I don't know what to do with my hands. I don't see them getting to that fully romantic point, so yeah, I don't think it's happening. Because a lot of times with one-on-ones, America will like fall in love with a character, kind of like flavor of the week thing. People will see a great one-on-one and be like, oh, this is the front runner, love that person. And then next week there'll be another one-on-one and people will be like, oh no, I love this person. And that just didn't happen here. Everyone is still hung up on Peter from last week or 2 weeks ago, I don't even remember, but the whole puppy date that he just, I guess, captured America's hearts because every girl is in love with him right now. Second group date, Rachel calls in her girls again. I can't knock it. I mean, these are her friends, I guess, best friends. I didn't realize they actually become like best friends from being on the same season together. It seems to happen a lot, but yeah, wild. So she calls her friends to set something up for her, which means the producers set it up and told the girls what to do. But they go on like a party bus with a stripper pole, and my man Kenny freaking kills it. Kenny's the man. You guys stay tuned because Kenny, he's real deal. But on the bus, the girls are asking some guys for some dirt, and Raven is sitting with elf ear Bryce, which I thought was really weird that Bryce was sitting there with like his arm around her. Like, hey, what's up, Raven? Maybe it was a bad angle, but like if you're like dating a girl, probably don't have your arm around her hot best friend. But he tattles to Raven that Eric is not a good dude, and then Lee says the same thing, so we'll talk about Eric and Lee a little bit later. But the group date goes to this like swanky little bar, it looked like, and there is a mud pit that looks like cow shit, literally cow shit, in the middle, and these guys are gonna do some mud wrestling. So remember what I said before about how Bachelorette is always having guys like take shirts off and be crazy. These dudes all get their shirts off, wrestling in mud. It's getting pretty crazy. So one girl in the crowd, just like a random person, yells out while the guys are about to wrestle, "Show us your butt!" Stay with me for a minute. Imagine these roles are reversed. Let's take it back even last year. Nick, the Bachelor, has a bunch of girls in bikinis mud wrestling, and some random drunk dude in the back says, "Show us your boobs!" What? Hashtag double standard. Again, please don't take me seriously, that's a joke. I'm not fucking complaining, but it's true. So anyway, the guys get mud wrestling, and Kenny emerges as the clear favorite. He is a professional fucking wrestler. Oh, and if you didn't pick it up, his wrestling name is Pretty Boy Pitbull Kenny King. Tell me that's not the most badass wrestling name you've ever heard. My favorite wrestler of all time is Shawn Michaels, but I have a feeling if I watched Kenny on some WWF shit, he'd be up there. So they go through the wrestling. Some of these guys are pretty brolic, pretty big, and others, Dean 19, just get thrown around. Also, side note, calling it now, Dean 19, pretty boy, like him. We talked about this in the past. I don't think he wins because I just don't think he's mature enough. I almost wanted to say like next Bachelor, but again, he's just no, so he's clearly gonna go to Paradise. Dean 19, Raven, put it in the books. It's happening. They're gonna be perfect. They're gonna get married. They're gonna have kids. It's the next Jade and Tanner. So the final ends up with my man, Pretty Boy Pitbull Kenny King. That just rolls off the tongue. I love it. And Elf Ears Bryce. Somehow Bryce fucking wins. I can't believe this shit. But it is what it is. The guys are covered in mud. They're gonna go get cleaned up while the girls debrief. So the girls tattle to Rachel about Eric and his running his mouth bullshit. They all talk about how Dean's the cutest. Jasmine said something, I can't remember what it was, but she said something about like, oh, like he's not sweet enough or he needs to be sweet. She said something around that. I don't know if she remembers that she was the girl who choked Nick on live television. Called it a fucking chokey, but she was like complaining about one of the guys not being like nice enough. So the girls disperse, they go do their like nighttime part of the date, and this is where the whole Eric situation like blows up. So for some context, Eric, back in the house before the dates, was just complaining about Rachel wasn't giving him time, and he didn't know if she was really into this. And he kind of reminds me of like that person that just whines and complains until something goes his way, and then he just flips the switch and everything is okay again. Like Jonah Hill in Superbad when he's in the home ec class, he's yelling at the teacher. He's like, "Everyone knows home ec is fucking bullshit. I don't want to make fucking tiramisu, and there's 3 weeks left of school. Give me a fucking break." And then the teacher's like, "Okay, well you can partner up with Jules then, Emma Stone." And he looks at me and says, "Oh, Jules. Okay. I'll give home ec another shot. I'll give it another shot." Why did I just go on a tangent about Superbad? I don't fucking know, but you get what I'm saying. Eric is that guy. So of course Eric gets the rose, and now he's all happy again, and he's gonna stop running his mouth because everything is good now. But everything is not so good. Eric and the other guys, they're still yelling at each other about the guys talking about Eric, and Eric not being there and not having faith in Rachel. I can't even keep up with this shit. Why are we all yelling at each other? It's fucking stupid. But they leave us with the teaser for next week where shit is gonna get a little bit real. So Eric and Lee are kind of the 2 contenders in this fight, this yelling match. And some shit has come out about Lee. If you haven't seen this yet, you probably live under a rock because it's all over Twitter, all over the internet. Lee had a string of some pretty controversial tweets, we'll say. I'll put a couple of them up here. You can see. Yeah, he's getting called just a big-time racist. They are pretty controversial. Lee seems to be a very opinionated man with a lot of opinions on race and gender and a lot of heavy political stuff. And I don't even want to go into Lee's shit because, hey, you're entitled to your own opinions. I don't agree with them, but that's your life. What pisses me off, and what a lot of people have been talking about this situation, is clearly the producers for this show vet contestants heavily. They're going to look into every contestant to make sure they know everything about them for 2 reasons. 1, to cover their asses, make sure they're not like hiring a serial killer or something. And 2, to create storylines. This show is 99% what the producers give us. We've talked about this. We understand this. Most scenes and situations are contorted and edited and spliced so that we get a different view of what maybe actually happened. But this is what pisses me off. Chris Harrison tweets that neither he nor the producers of the show were aware of Lee's tweets at the time of casting him. Are you fucking kidding me? It's not like these are like 10-year-old tweets, right? We've all said some shit that maybe we're not proud of or maybe isn't the person we are anymore. We all grow up, we change, we mature. These are from January. And again, the content of the tweets, what was said, I don't agree with, but that's it's his Twitter. He can say whatever the fuck he wants. But if you're gonna sit there and tell me, as a producer of a show, you're putting someone on national television and you didn't check their Twitter account to see what the guy talks about, when your whole show is predicated on people talking about it on social media? So that's what pisses me off. Obviously, we knew that race was gonna be a part of this season. Rachel is the first black lead, bachelor or bachelorette, and it's been talked about. So we knew that this was gonna come up at some point. Why would you cast someone who has tweeted things that are fairly negative about black people and women? The lead of your show is a black woman. It seems like a really, really cheap ploy to create tension and bring up shit that we don't need. I don't want to go too deep here, but reality TV show is full of drama, right? That's why we watch. We love watching the fights and the makeouts and the breakups and all of that, right? We're at a pretty critical time in our country's history, and if you're gonna just perpetuate that narrative just for like ratings, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan at all. But let's end this on a little bit more of a positive note. Again, The Bachelorette, it's a fun show. We watch it to fucking escape from the real world stuff. Let's end on a good note. Bachelor in Paradise. They announced the cast of this year's Bachelor in Paradise sometime this week. We're gonna put all of those faces up right here so you can see them. Are they up yet? Are they up yet? Lots of girls from last season for Nick. A couple of guys from the season prior to that with JoJo, I believe. Maybe I'm making that shit up. I don't know. And a couple of old ones that you kind of remember, kind of don't. And like I said before, I'm sure we'll get some more guys from this season. Dean 19, definitely. And yeah, Bachelor in Paradise is just fun. It's even worse than this show as far as drama and bullshit is concerned, but that's why we watch. Interesting to see that Amanda is going back on. This is gonna be her 3rd show. You always see like the people that do multiple shows and you want it to work out for them. You want them to find happiness. And I really do like Amanda. I love her. But I do hate that people are already talking about how like this is her 3rd show and she's got 2 little kids and is she just escaping to go to Mexico again? And I'm not a parent, so I'm not gonna talk shit. Like, I don't know. There's plenty of parents who work 12, 13, 14 hours a day and don't get to see their kids. She's, you know, probably been able to change her life because of these shows, and maybe this is her vacation. I don't know. All right, tweet of the week. I forgot a quote of the week, so we're definitely gonna try to keep tweet of the week here. If you haven't seen this yet, this is one of my new favorite memes. As we know, memes, or memes, as Bryce Harper calls them, are taking over the world. This is like the mocking SpongeBob one, and I love it. I think it's hilarious. So this person tweets about the Lucas and Blake one, and it's such a perfect description of what actually happened. Lucas, while Boom says, "It's about the world, brother." And then Blake, as mocking SpongeBob, "It's about the world, brother." A lot of people did this meme, but this one was my favorite that I saw. Keep up the tweets, they're funny. I've noticed that most of them are just memes or GIFs. Is it GIF or GIF? I don't know. But it's hilarious, I love it. You actually get 2 tweets of the week. This one was also hilarious to me. Danielle says, "I don't know what's funnier, Lucas' story about Blake and the banana, or Blake using his diet to dismiss the story's credibility." Have you ever heard anything more ridiculous? Blake was like, "Well, that's clearly not true because I don't eat carbs." That dude sucks. I don't care. You can talk shit about Waboom all you want. Blake sucks more. All right, last thing for this week. I'm going to give you guys my top 5. We're getting to that point. We are down to only like 18 guys, I think. Only 18. So I'm going to start putting out some of my weekly power rankings. This is a combination of my favorites and guys that I think will go far. If I made a list of just either, they might be a little bit different, so I try to combine them a little bit. Number 5, we're gonna go with Alex. Like I said, he's turning on the gas a little bit. I think he's gonna start making a run. I like him, I really do. Number 4 is Adam. Adam hasn't had a whole lot of screen time since he brought the creepy ass doll, Adam Jr., but there's a deleted scene from this week of him and Rachel, and it felt really real. Really natural chemistry. They ended up making out on the ground after he did some wrestling moves. Probably should have prefaced that. But yeah, I don't know why they cut that out of the show. It was really nice. Number 3, Peter. Oh my God, Chris, how could he be number 3? He's the front runner. Like I said, America tends to fall in love with people after one-on-one date. Is he great looking? Of course he is. I don't know. Everyone thought it was just an amazing date. Even Rachel was like, "Oh, my mind is blown." It seemed kind of boring to me. I don't know. Will he win? Maybe. If not, will he be the Bachelor? Probably. I'm not convinced yet. Number 2, the pretty boy Pitbull Kenny King. Do I need to explain at all? And number 1, my man Brian. Like I said, I picked him preseason to be my favorite, and I kind of ride or die with my number 1 picks. Last year it was Danielle M. Rode that out until she lost. I'm confident. I'm gonna stick with Brian. I hope he stays on the straight and narrow, but the chemistry between those two is too undeniable. And that's all I got. Maybe this video will actually be out before the next episode of the show airs. I haven't accomplished that yet, so stay tuned.